Hi, welcome back. I again was just drawing for last few weeks. Today I mostly still focusing on this project of the world, which haven't quite consolidated in my mind, but I had a lot of different ideas and I started building a little town. So this is what we're gonna do. Let's build a little town. I've been thinking all day about how to name this village. I recently been like drawing this sort of landscapes and things with rocks resembling teeth, and I really wanted to make a story. I finally decided not pressure myself to make a story and just draw and imagine what it could like what the world could be without thinking of if it's going to be a graphic novel or something else. I decided to just lean into this RPG like sort of art style, sort of rough and pixelated, spritey RPG like style, using just the pencils, just a 6B on Procreate. So I'm also learning Procreate, but I decided that this simplistic art actually worked for me the best. I've been drawing it constantly. So obviously, this is the different brush I used, and I haven't quite consolidated my ideas here. And then I also did these images, which again, I used less pixelated brushes, but I decided to just lean into RPG-like games because that's what really giving me the most happiness right now. And I realized that drawing RPG-like world gives me almost the same discovery happiness as actually playing games and discovering new places and secrets. So that's why I'm kind of just taking my time. I was thinking about the name today, specifically about the name, and I'm not quite set. I was like making words from grass, whale, and like sort of wanted to save it like a small patch of grass or small patch or a cup of rain because we were in drought season before we regrown everything. It's a town, it's a slow town, the beginner's town of resilience where they farm. You know, if you were to start an RPG game, it's probably be a start area, grasslands, let's say, where everything seems simple. So in the end, I ended up browsing through Japanese things. I might think I might change it because I'm not super confident in using Japanese, but at the moment, that's what I set on. And yeah, and I think it's suitable because outside of this village, everything is very electronic, a lot of robots, and here is still quite simpler time. So then I thought about drawing each of the buildings separately, and I'm thinking about drawing the, let's say, I don't know, cafeteria, bar maybe, or restaurant. That's called Hungry Monster. So instead of a restaurant, I draw basically a chef. I would like to think of this restaurant as like cook in front of a person sort of restaurant. There is very small kitchen and he just cooks right ahead. But my first inspiration was we played some kind of sprite game where we talked. There was villager who I was telling my partner like, oh, it looks like he has a fish on his head. I want to talk to him, but he was like just NPC and like non-talkable. I don't even remember which game it was, and my partner was like, it's just a bandana. So I decided to lean into that and make like a fish bandana on this person, and I was just like, I'm just gonna make him super obsessed with fish. So his apron will have this little fish of like hyped up fish where it's like I can do it. Oh yeah, you can also see my first ideas were like not consolidating very well. I thought of making this younger person, but then I don't know why he just felt like a little bit flat for me. I don't hate it, but like the the big tavern man sounds more typical. It started getting into my head, and I was like thinking about NPCs and like quests and environments. And I was starting to draw this hungry monster diner. I think I set on that is more like a diner restaurant. So I started drawing this background of inside, and I realized how difficult it was. I wasted an entire day trying to draw it. I actually finished entire diner and the drawn characters, made like character little NPC talks as well, like little bubbles of speech. But then I realized that I was just pushing through it to do it, that I wasn't necessarily like vibing with nor environment nor other characters in it, that I was literally doing it of some kind of almost necessity, and realized that how little of environment means, how little environment or even characters mean by themselves, that it's all based on encounter, that we really start caring about characters or environments. I actually like looking at environments as characters. Either way, this entire diner was like scrapped, and all the progress I made that day was like scrapped, and it got me very much down. And then I decided to play more of Chrono Trigger. I actually haven't played it before, so my partner sort of introduced it to me. And I really adore old classic RPG pixelated games, and how much emotion is in such a like little detail. Like I adore the simplicity, and I kept saying like it's only 4 pixels, but it's so expressive. I adore it. So I wanted to share, because I'm talking about encounters. I wanted to share about one of the artworks I made before I made the map. So this was about a villain city, let's say. The this turtle robot would be like almost like a cruise ship, or like a city by itself, and it would invade this little town. So, and also we have my villain character, which I sketched in a sketchbook before, and a couple of different shots of the city. And when I got back into building a village and sort of imagining this little island, what else could fit on it? I really wanted to put in sheep. And also in the beginning, I wasn't quite sure what other structures there should be, and they were completely different from what it ended up as. Even the style of the art itself changed, because here I changed to the brushes again. So I started losing some consistency between houses. I drawn the houses separately and then sort of glued them into the map, which then find positions for them. But even then, they didn't quite sit. I'm sure as time goes, and if I'm gonna draw other locations with a purpose, they might still change and shift. But this is it. I still explore some of the individual parts of the map, thinking, what kind of encounters that could be. This entire drawing changed the water tower in the original sketch, and this became a water tower. And I added these crows that are very symmetrical, so they would look like encounter itself. I get very entangled, you can tell, and then obviously start thinking about what encounter would trigger it all. So this is very Zelda inspired. It's supposed to be a maiden shrine, and the character giving a little pray and then getting blessed with being able to summon rain. There is a disastrous part to the ability, and sometimes things flood, and this is one of the floodings, and obviously we have to have sheep. This picture inspired by a little lucky cat we found in Malaysia, which had like a massive mouth, and I was like, I need to use it. I absolutely have to. It's not very concise to the rest of the story, but I thought about this being like a postal service where cats deliver messages. I thought it was cute. So this is where we are, and I'm just playing with those ideas, and maybe by the next few vlogs we know where the ideas are consolidating, but I'm just having a little bit of fun of exploring them, and I'll see you next time. Bye!